scientific, again, I know everyone's questioning the science these days, but consistently over many, many years, about 1 out of 9, 1 out of 10 people identify within the LGBTQ community. Do you know how many people that is in the United States? That's over 30 million people. That means you are going to see them in your daily lives. They are there. They are just as human as you
They're
are.
amongst us.
But watch out, they might convert
so
you.
Interesting over the past few years is the amount of people that are somehow under this idea that there's this whole new wave of transgenderism sweeping the country and people grooming our children. And it's so absurd. It's so anti every amount of reason and science that we have at our disposal. And it's very unproductive commentary, because it's like, not only is it hurting the trans community and trans children as collateral damage, but it's really keeping us distracted from what we really need to be talking about. But yet we do have to be defending the rights of trans people, because it is completely unacceptable for them to be collateral damage.
And again, but when you're talking, and then of course they're always going to point out, yeah, but they're grooming kids. Listen, there's always going to be outliers in any scenario. There will always somewhere. They'll always find that one drag place that has kids, you know. And I agree that that's wrong. But you know what? It's no different than this idea that during COVID, all of these people were just randomly walking up to, you know, like that crazy old white bearded guy in Utah who was coughing on people. Ha ha ha, you got your COVID. And I'm thinking, you're always going to find the outliers. They're always there. The camera's always ready to find that crazy lunatic.
Because it gets clicks and it keeps us all fighting. But the reality is that, again, and I come back to, like, even what we were talking about a little bit in the chat was like, you know, different potential causes for transgenderism. Could there be toxicity increases? It could be a myriad of things. It could be, really, and I would be completely open and stipulate that it could be any and all of the reasons that you think, and I would still argue it's none of our damn business, and be kind. So it's like, here's the thing, it doesn't really matter to me why people are or are not transgender. It really doesn't matter why to me, other than it might be interesting, you know, if we really, really wanted to research that. But like, it doesn't matter, because they're just people, and I would just be kind. And it's really not complicated.
And let me also say, as somebody who has been around many members of the gay community for many years, if you're straight, you're straight.
Right. Who made you straight? I love saying that to the people that talk about, like, if you think that somebody can make you gay, then that means that somebody can make you straight. And also, then I would like to point out, and in all fairness, if they're talking about grooming, well, then we were all groomed to be heterosexual, live in a house with a white picket fence, have 2-point-whatever kids. So we're all groomed to be heterosexuals then. Like, the whole thing is so stupid. These people are not thinking.
And one more thing, to the political right that constantly want to harp on, you know, they're grooming kids. There is no one grooms more kids in this country than the Catholic Church.
And if they're grooming kids.
Now, if you're not going to address that, and you're not going to address it head on, and we know you're not, then the conversation's over. That's not to say that there aren't potential groomers that are out there that happen to be trans. I'm sure they exist, but in the Catholic Church, it is a cottage industry.
But can we also talk about what I like to call facts? In fact, I would love to see if there's any more current numbers about, like, the percentage of people that are pedophiles and stuff that are either gay in that community. But it's like next to nothing. I want to tell you, like, the last time I heard the statistic for that, like, so the fact that people are trans, that actually statistically makes them less threatening to your children. If somebody is gay, they're statistically less threatening to your children. So it's just, these opinions are not based on reason.
I still use the best argument for the LGBTQ community, which is, if you look at the economic benefits that they provide in every single community, whether it's in Miami Beach, whether it is in Wilton Manors in Fort Lauderdale, Asbury Park, New Jersey, San Francisco, California, when you look at the economic impact that they have, Brooklyn,
Metal,
New York,
that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Yeah, it's not how it works.
It's not how it works. Metal, I love rainbows, unicorns. I trust me, I'm working on like some sort of like unicorn thing for Pride next year, maybe, but like nobody makes people be gay or trans. That's
Mr.
not
Anonymous,
a thing.
need to know where you're coming up with that statistic and where exactly that number is being. I don't. It's you want to say in the 1950s? Yeah, maybe, but
93% of who identify as religious.
Yeah, I need more context.
No. There's no way that, not in this country. Most people, oh no, I don't know what
Yeah,
that
we need more context with that.
Yeah. They're just people. They're just, honestly, it's very frustrating. Trans people, they're just people. They're just living their lives. Most of their lives are probably fairly boring, like most people's lives. They go to work, they come home, they have dinner, they hang with their family. Like, it's so silly that we're so concerned with this issue. It's really very, it's very pedestrian, I must say. Like, I feel like it's very pedestrian for people to be like stuck on this. And yeah, I do feel more advanced than that. I do. I feel like I'm capable of getting past discussing genitals.
Yeah, I think we're certainly in a better position than we've ever been, but there's still going to be outliers.
Abusers. Okay, well, that might be true.
Yeah, that might be true. I would think so.
That makes sense because they hate themselves. They hate
don't deny the fact.
Religion.
And remember, Catholicism is the singular largest religious denomination in the United States. Don't think for a second think about how many priests go into the parish because they're gay, because they hate, it's like they hate themselves and they think, well, a life of celibacy will do me good. And then the next thing you know, you realize that you're in an organization that protects you if you want to live that life. It's like the idea that you can't square that circle is just.
I've never understood this my whole life. I didn't understand it when I was little. I remember even asking my mom stuff about this. Like, I just do not understand people's fixation with what other people do. Like, it's just so strange to me. Like, people, it's all I could do to really keep myself interested in what's going on in my own group of people. Like, the idea that I would really be so interested with what other people are like, it's so weird to me. Mind your business. Just mind your business.
And let's not forget that this whole conversation, this whole thing that happened from the beginning of today with RFK and everything that we've talked about, bring this conversation full circle. Everything is a distraction from the fact that you cannot afford to live anywhere. You can't get a living wage. You must learn a trade, but you have no tuition-free college, so you're going to put yourself into even more debt. You do not have health care. So if you get sick or you need medicine, forget it. You're screwed.
Metalopoly, there is no way that's true.
There is
no way.
There is endless war where we cannot get out of our own way in terms of foreign policy. People don't understand the difference between micro and macro economics, which there is a significant difference. You have to balance the budget at the state and the local level. At the federal level, we are a currency issuer. We have to balance it against corporate greed, which we have not done. I think RFK, in a way, explained it fairly okay, I would say, on Joe Rogan. But he could have done a better job. There's no question he could have, which is why he really needs to be having a conversation with somebody like Steve Grumbine about modern monetary theory. But he had the right idea that the biggest reason for our inflation crisis is because of corporate greed. There's no question that is the biggest, that is the most identifiable reason as to why we have that problem. But
again, I find it to be a capitalism problem, but okay.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.